The X Speedflow 0.2. It's the first level takedown model in the Adidas X Speedflow line, obviously coming underneath the Plus and the 0.1. And Adidas have done a great job here, although they have brought back the one thing that made me hate Adidas takedown models for such a long time. They've been killing it recently, edging closer and closer to that Mercurial Pro level takedown, which is the peak of all takedown models. But they just brought back some dumb stuff this time around. What's up guys, I'm James, welcome to BootWizard Boot Reviews. Today it's the X Speedflow 0.2. Do remember to like the video, get subscribed to the channel. If you can support us, head to patreon.com/BootWizard, or if you want to pick up these boots or any others, use the link down in the top pinned comment to support us. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get one disappointment out of the way and chuck these onto the scales. I said chuck, really weird there. On the scales, these are coming in at 238 grams. That is in a US size 8, which is the size that I would normally wear in most Adidas boots. And that, my friends, is heavy. If we compare it to what you get on the Speedflow 0.1, which comes in at 186 grams. There really is no comparison. Not only is this significantly heavier than the 0.1, which you're going to expect, it should be heavier. It's a takedown model. It's usually going to be a bit heavier, but it's significantly heavier. It's also a generally heavy football boot. The last time I picked up a boot at like 240, 250 grams, I don't remember. This is heavy, and I would argue unnecessarily so. But weight is never really a deal breaker, so with that out of the way, let's have a look at the Soleplate, because that's something else that is significantly different from the 0.1, and disappointing's probably harsh, but it's nothing like what you're going to get from the upper end model. Now, of course, again, you're not really expecting to get chrome finishes, carbon fiber inserts on a boot that's costing you less than this one, significantly less. And this has that beautiful springback with this bladed stud pattern. Now you'll notice the stud pattern is exactly the same. The stud shape is exactly the same, but no Carbotex insert. You might also notice that they seem to look a little bit different, with this one just looking that little bit more chunky. And honestly, it feels it as well. But the main thing is it does not have that same kind of springback. This is almost sluggish, and actually it's quite a flexible sole plate. Even by general modern day standards, there's not a whole heap of stability through the midfoot and the heel here. It's not bad, it's not gonna be a problem, but if you are looking for a speed boot, which is what this is, it's a speed boot takedown, you probably want something that's got a little bit more rigidity to give you more responsiveness. And overall, this is decent, but there's better options out there even at this particular price point. Speaking of price point, these are coming in at £110, which does position them as a cheaper alternative to the Mercurial Vapor 14 Pro, although I will straight up tell you, in my opinion, the 14 Pro is still the best takedown model on the market, and it is better than these, and it is worth spending that little bit of extra money. I recently reviewed these, the Umbro Velocitor. I would strongly recommend checking out the review on these as well, because at a sale price point, these may also be worth considering. But at £110, it's not terrible, but as always, there's just better options out there, and I strongly suggest that you look up maybe an older model that is on sale. The ghosted takedown models were actually pretty good options, and it's well worth considering those at a 0.2 or a 0.3 level and saving yourself the money rather than buying these at full price. Now, it may sound like I've been getting down on this boot and basically saying it's not very good for this entire review, but that's not actually the case, because there's some real good here, and most of it comes in the upper. This is a genuine quality takedown level synthetic upper. Now, this does have some of the same feel or elements as the plus level model, but just isn't as premium. But that's what you expect when you're taking £70 off the overall price. This is a bit thinner, has a little bit more texture, genuinely just that little bit nicer, but I would not complain about getting this on a £110 boot. The one-piece upper is still there. The stretch in this kind of more woven area across the top is good. It wraps around your foot nicely. Overall, the touch and feel from the upper is actually excellent. It's got that proper barefoot style feel when you strike the ball, and then the internal does have kind of a cage the same way that you'd find on the 0.1 level model, but it is a bit thicker and it's more of a tacky synthetic suede, and I don't really love it. I don't love the way it grabs onto my socks, but overall, this upper touch, feel, if your main concern is getting a budget price point that's going to give you a good touch on the ball, this is well worth considering, even without those kind of added elements and the upper just being that little bit on the slick side. Okay, let's talk fit and comfort. In width terms here, we are looking pretty good. There's plenty of width for most foot types, a good amount of stretch, and you're not really going to struggle to get your feet into this particular boot. Wide feet gets a thumbs up. In terms of sizing, I would say go true to size here. Now, I might personally want maybe a quarter size smaller, but I don't think that's anything to do with the boot sizing. That's just me being awkward and wanting the closest possible fit I can get hold of. For pretty much everybody, you're going to be talking true to size here, and overall, the fit is good. There's not any real negative space. The toe box is quite large. There is quite a raised area here, which does lead to a little bit of extra room, which is possibly where that quarter size that I'm talking about comes from. But overall, true to size, good width for most people, and you are pretty much onto a winner. The boot is also generally comfortable, wraps your foot very well, and has quite a universal fit, and it's very nice for a takedown model. However, there is a big however, and it's that one thing I mentioned right at the start of the video that I really don't like, that I wish Adidas had never brought back ever, and it's the feeling in the heel. The heel of this boot has that old school low heel counter feeling. Now the heel counter comes right up. It's not the heel counter itself. It's just the feeling in the boot. I feel like I'm gonna slip out at any given moment, and this used to be like synonymous with the old Adidas takedown models across the board. They got rid of it, they fixed it, and it's back. It's very irritating. I don't like it one bit. The heel is also pretty over padded, if you ask me. I love a bit of padding, and this is reasonably comfortable, but in order to give you those two kind of bumps just in here, similar to what you get from the other models, they've also pushed those on top of what is already a reasonably padded heel. So you're definitely going to notice, and this is going to apply to everybody, irrespective of foot type or foot shape, that there's going to be a decent amount of distance between the rear of the boot and where your foot starts. And it just feels a little bit unseemly and a little bit clunky, really, and that's a shame considering how well the rest of the upper of the boot actually fits. The way that the liner is stitched in here is also a little disappointing. There's two ridges of additional kind of excess material here, and it's just where the liner seems to have not been pulled far enough down into the boot, and it just makes the whole thing feel that little bit cheaper when they've done such a good job in so many other areas of the boot. Now, this could just be my pair, I'm not entirely sure, but it is a little bit disappointing, and it makes the whole boot feel like you're getting something that's less than £110, when really what you're looking for at this particular price point is something that's going to give you the best value for money and a real premium feeling without having to spend the big bucks, and without going for something at 0.3 or Academy level, which you know is going to have a cheap feeling. It's supposed to be a nice middle ground, and it doesn't really hit it because of the heel. This is still a very good takedown model. It still does come in cheaper than that Nike Pro level Vapor, but if I'm being honest and I just want to put out there what I think the best thing to buy is at around this price point, is going to be a boot on sale that's a top end, a 0.1 level Adidas model maybe from a previous generation, an X 19.1 on sale. They're very popular at the moment. You can get them from a lot of places and they're coming in at almost exactly the same price, or alternatively that Pro level Vapor 14, which is just a fantastic takedown model boot that's well worth your money. This is not bad at all, and if the Speedflow is what you want and you want something that is in a particular colorway, a particular style, then you're not going to be upset. You're not going to be disappointed wearing this. There's just better options out there. If you have the Speedflow 0.2, please do let me know what you think of these particular boots down in the comments, as well as liking the video, getting subscribed to the channel, and of course, you can support us by clicking the link down in the top pinned comment to buy your boots, or heading over to patreon.com/BootWizard. That's all from me here today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a good one, and I'll see you very soon.